All right. So today we're gonna turn this old cabinet door into a nice decorative piece with some writing here and other nice things that we're gonna put on there. We're gonna paint it. We're gonna add some hooks so you can hang it up in your entryway or wherever you guys, when you walk in, you leave your coats instead of having it all over the place. You can hang them here, or backpacks, or hats. Because you know, right now it's cold, and it'd be like, and I want it to feel like, but in the meantime, this is what we're gonna work on. We're gonna add hooks and a lot of nice things. So, okay, here we go. First things first, let's put the camera down and we're gonna paint it. And the color I chose, I'm gonna do two colors, blend them. So I'm using DIY paint, Summer Crush, and also Prairie Gray. Using my Paint Pixie brush, which you can't see the name on it because I use it a lot. All right. Here we go. Start with the orange. This is an awesome color. So just go over it quickly. You don't need to put a lot of paint on your brush. This paint is the pigments in it are great, and you don't really need to add a ton. Especially on a small project like this. See, a little bit goes a long way. Like that. Make sure you get all of the edges and the sides too. Don't worry if you get any on the glass, because that is easy to take off later on with just your fingernails, or you can use a razor, or you can use a little damp cloth and just go over it. This color, this orange color, makes me think of summer and spring and warm things, because here in Massachusetts, not warm, no way. I like this color so much. I don't know if I want to put Prairie Gray on top. I think I love this color. All right, we're gonna try to blend in a little bit of the Prairie Gray. Just some, a lot. In some areas. I applied the Prairie Gray over the Orange Crush while it was still wet, as this makes it easy for the two colors to blend in together smoothly. Ooh, these colors look so nice together. I'm a big fan of orange. I don't have favorite colors, but orange, if I had a favorite, it would be one of my favorites. Do the top, probably can't see the top from the camera angle. I just apologize. Be more pronounced. I could add more once it dries, because right now, since both of the paint, the orange is still wet, it is sort of blending in, which is what I wanted to do. But if I wanted it to show more Prairie Gray, for sure, I would wait for this to dry and then add some more. Next, I want to use some IOD transfers. And this particular one is called Prim and Trim. Okay, speaking of trim, we are going to trim this because, as you can see, it's pretty big. And it's actually almost bigger than my project. Okay, so I'm gonna flip the camera down again. I need my glasses for this because I can't see. Gotta make sure I prim and trim this right. So I can choose which pieces I want to use. And this has a grid. As you can see, the paper has a grid, which is pretty cool. Kind of know where to cut. You can measure things out if that's your thing. Okay. Let's do this thing. And it's actually longer than I need it. So I'm just gonna cut. Okay. Now, this comes with a handy dandy, I don't know what you call this, a rubber. You can use this for a lot of things actually. All right, I'm gonna put this on the bottom, right here. And try to line this up as best I could. You know what? I need to cut a little bit more. Just a little bit more. If I cut the extra that's on the bottom, it will be easier for me to line this up with the bottom of this window where I want this to match up here. Okay. Let's just get all the extra stuff out. Right here. Yikes. Okay, so the thing to know is this sticks, and once it sticks, it's kind of, yeah, on there. All right, so this one's gonna be imperfectly perfect. So you grab your rubber thingy, rubbing stick. Yes, that's what we'll call it. And just start rubbing away. Oops, starting to come off already. Okay. This is like magic, you guys. Should bring you in a little bit closer. There we go. All right. Okay. I'm gonna pull away and see what stuck here and what didn't. What you guys want to see. Oops. And I'm gonna pull it back slowly, because there are parts that probably aren't going to stick right away, and this way you can go back and just keep rubbing, and you know that it's coming off as you're pulling it away, because there'll be nothing on this plastic right here. But when there is, see, like this piece right here, there's a little bit, I know that this didn't come off. I can always go back and just rub on it again and it'll stay. Okay. Okay, so the next piece is going to be here on the top. So what I'll do is I'll turn this around. And all I need to do is pick what I want to put on the top. And decisions. It's starting to look like more like a bohemian piece, I think. I'm going to use this right here, this thin one, I think. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. Right here. So I'm going to cut that. I'm going to use this right here, this thin one, I think. I cut another piece of the IOD transfer and for the opposite side, and I applied it the same way that I did the one before this one. It's my sign that says home is a good place to be, and this is a stencil from Essential Stencil. So I'm going to put that on there, and I'm going to tape it with my handy dandy tape that I brought here, but I can no longer find. I'll be right back. Sorry guys, got kind of hungry. Okay, I have my tape. And I'm gonna put that in the middle, make it as even as possible. Now if you're a perfectionist, you would probably measure the distance from here to the stencil on both sides. I'm not gonna do that. I just don't need it to be that perfect. Okay. I do need it to be straight. Let's see. And since I wear glasses, sometimes it's hard to tell, even with my glasses on. Okay. I think that's good. Like that. All right, so for this, we're going to use white paint, I think. Okay, here we go. And this is beadboard, Debbie's Design Diary paint. Also, mine has some blue in it because I tend to dip, you know, I dip everything in everything, and that's just the way I roll. Okay. Scary. I noticed that some paint got under the stencil on the letter H, and I will take that out with the razor later on when the paint is dry. Okay, now that we have our paint on and we have our stenciled and we have the transfers on, we can seal it, and then we just add hooks on the back, hooks on the bottom right here, and right here. I'm gonna add it right here, and then we'll be able to hang it up. So where I stenciled, because some of the paint, which sometimes happen, especially on glass mostly, the paint kind of smudged a little when I pulled the stencil out. I just cleaned that off. And I don't need it to be perfect. This is good enough for me. And as I said, you can seal this with a clear patina or Big Top DIY brand, and it'll be fine. You just have to kind of paint inside the lines. Same with here. So also, I want to show you right here where there is some glass in between my transfer and the wood here. I put some paint to kind of make it look like old and vintagey, and it'll just to fill in that glass, because what happened is when I put the transfer on, it stuck before I was ready. Well, as I'm trying to place it and figure out how I want it. It's stuck. Once it sticks and you pull it, it's already on there. So I didn't want to waste it. So this is how I filled it in. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is use a combination of dark wax and clear wax to seal the paint on the wooden part of the window right here. And the reason why I use clear wax is if I feel that the dark wax came on too dark, you can always wipe it back with the clear wax. A lot of people put clear first and then the dark. I just put on the dark and wipe back with the clear. I'm not too worried about it being dark. I don't think it's gonna be that dark. It's just gonna give it a little bit of drama. Yep. And I kind of like it, that it's kind of toning down the orange a little bit. It's just, I feel, making it more rich with the dark wax. So we're gonna finish waxing this part right here. You can use a waxing brush. I like to use a rag. Make sure you get your edges. Don't forget those, that's really important. And over here, right here where I added the paint to fill in that space, I'm also gonna wax it so it matches the rest of the orange. Okay, here. Almost done. So the wax, dark wax, if you haven't used dark wax before, when you first put it on, it's gonna seem like it's really dark. And it is, it's dark wax, but I promise you it gets lighter as it dries and it won't be as dark. So no need to worry about that. Okay. So this is it, all done, except for the hooks that I'm gonna put on here. That will be the next step. And then we'll put hooks in the back so you can hang it. And it's gonna be great. I'm gonna show you what it looks like when it's all done and hang it. All right, next step, hooks. One last thing I wanted to add that I just thought of, golden ticket. Now this is all I have because I love this stuff, but I thought this would look so good on the orange. So I just want to show you. I don't even know if it'll be easy to see. I'm going to add a little bit to the orange here below where I went over with the paint. And I'm just going to put it on the edges. I use my finger because, well, I don't know. I just use my fingers and my hands a lot when I'm painting, but just a little bit on the edges. Because, you know, I don't want this to be a gold, I don't want it to be a gold frame. Okay, so I'm gonna, all right, oh, where's that gold? Right here. Can you see it? Maybe not, because it's a camera, but up close, when you're, can you see me? When you're looking at it in real life, you can see the gold. It's faint, and it's there, it is there, but it's not overpowering. So if you don't like a lot of gold, there isn't a lot of gold, but it just gives it that little bit of like, yeah, it needed that. All right, be back, we'll put hooks on this thing. You just want attention. Learn my dance moves from my friend Debbie Beard.